The following is another .5 episode of TMI, where we take a past secondary feature discussion and make it its own episode. This time around, we've got episode 54, and our primary feature at that time was the 2019 reboot of Hellboy, starring David Harbour. But our secondary feature was the 1972 cult classic HorrorExpress with Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Telly Savalas. Get on board, the train is leaving the station.
TMI. Confessionals of the Nerd Kind. And now, your hosts, Jeff Nerfherder Chandler and Jim Kaiju Baker.
Yep.
All right, this next movie is our first listener request that we've granted. It's not the first listener request, technically, but it's the first one that we've granted.
So we relented and said, all right, we'll watch it.
Yeah. HorrorExpress, 1972. You would think it's a Hammer movie because it's got all those Hammer components.
Pedigree, yeah.
Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing.
And Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas.
Does he go? How does he even get top billing on this?
He's in it for
up in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was talking to Scott, who is our listener who requested this. This is one of Scott's most feared films as a child.
Oh, geez.
Why? If you watch this on TV, it would have freaked me out. Like just the zombies themselves with the white eyes. And Jeff, this was almost a Bigfoot movie. Almost.
Well, they referred to him at one point, and I'm just like, oh, they referred to him as the missing link. And I said, we should have paired this up with the missing link next week. But then they went nowhere with that. They went
somewhere into the stratosphere. They went with this.
Yeah, first of all, my DVD, I couldn't even believe my library had this, first of all. Second of all, my disc says widescreen. It's not widescreen.
And my disc was like the worst transfer I could have seen on, even though it was on DVD, it was just.
It is available on Blu-ray, but not.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like the transfer is pretty impressive.
From what I've seen on YouTube, yes, the clips from the Blu-ray.
No, I like this. I really like this. It was different. There's no setup whatsoever. I mean, by the opening credits, I already found this frozen mummy and have him in a case, and he's on a train.
Yeah, where did they find him? In Mongolia? Is that where
they were all over the place? Manchuria. But then they're in Shanghai on the train, and I don't know. I just went with it. But you have Peter Cushing, like you said, and Christopher Lee. And I will say Peter Cushing. Now, I'm not a big horror fan, so I don't, those Hammer movies. And if you go through on my DVD, they had a bibliothèque of all of the movies that these guys have been in. And Peter Cushing's list was like 12 pages long between like 1940 and 1970.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
The guy was making like 5 movies a year. He seemed to be having fun with this.
Which is surprising because the backstory is that he had just lost his wife and he was going to drop out of the movie because it just happened. And Christopher Lee talked him into it to take his mind off things.
Wow.
It does look like he's having fun.
Yeah, and he's always playing such a stoic character, so I thought that was interesting. But you're right, you bring up that Rasputin, the hippie monk or whatever you want to.
Who immediately turns allegiance from good to evil as soon as.
Oh, he couldn't. He was like bowing at the feet of Satan. He's like, yeah, teach me.
So the setup is Christopher Lee finds what they think is the missing link, which it is a caveman, Bigfoot kind of a thing that's frozen in the ice.
Yeah, he's really nondescript. He
really is the missing link that they find. You find out later. They put him in a crate. They put him on a train to bring him back to civilization, and that's where all the hilarity ensues.
Hilarity. It was not intended to be hilarity. There's one scene where like, what's in the crate? And he goes, it's a fossil. He goes, the guy's like, what's a fossil?
What's a fossil?
Well, I guess we didn't coin that phrase back in 1970.
And there's a pause, like rocks. As soon as they get this thing on the train, actually beforehand, it starts killing people.
They hadn't even left the station yet, and people are already dying.
There's a thief that tries to get into the box, and then he ends up dead with white eyeballs.
Yeah, the porter.
Porter in a box.
So they get the beast in the crate on the train. Everybody's clamoring to get into this crate. Peter Cushing especially, because he's Christopher Lee's rival archaeologist.
So he's like, he wants to know what's going on.
He wants to know what's in there. Yeah. So from inside the crate, the Bigfoot missing link wakes up and picks the lock to get himself out of the crate. And now he's
this thing's like 2 million years old, and yet he knows. First of all, my steaks take longer to defrost when I take them out of the freezer than this guy took. Like he's on the platform for 10 minutes, and he's already, he's got it all worked out.
He's waiting to get out, yeah. So he starts killing people in the same fashion. They find dead bodies with no pupils, and their eyeballs are white and bleeding. And every scene that the ape kills someone is pretty intense. Yeah, the blood's coming out of their eyes. It's just
the nose, the mouth, their ears.
And you've got that, early synthesizer soundtrack going.
Yeah.
So those scenes are pretty effective. And then about not even halfway, the ape gets shot. And you're like, what's going on? How is this movie going to continue now?
He dies. They kill him. Genius. Let's cut off, and all the people that are dying, immediately Peter Cushing's like, let's lobotomize them. Let's take their heads off and see what's going on here.
Yep. And then
the only way that you can tell what's going on is by looking at the brains.
Good call, Peter Cushing. They take the head off, and it's like it's like a coconut shell. The sound that it makes when it's coming on and off the skull.
Right. It's like in Nightmare Before Christmas when Sally, and every now and again he opens up his head to Doctor.
Exactly. Yeah, it was exactly like that.
Yeah.
And that Tim Burton has seen Horror Express at some point. And is
hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So when they finally take the skull cap off on some of these autopsies that they're doing, you notice that the brain doesn't look that realistic. It's just a smooth ball, and you're like, oh, that's pretty lame. And then they say, oh, it's meant to look that way because the memories of these people have been wiped.
And I guess the wrinkles are created by memories is what they were implying.
And that's another way to go there. Well,
right.
This must mean that their memories are gone.
Right, correct, yeah. Which I thought was, that makes more sense now that he not only escaped, but then put the locks back on. And I'm like, this thing's 2 million years old. He doesn't even know what a lock is. But I guess as he kills people, he absorbs their knowledge and memory or whatever.
Yeah, because he absorbed the thief's knowledge, and that's how we knew how to pick the lock.
Right.
So, yeah, there you go.
He's like the world's first mutant.
Do you remember that mid-'80s movie, The Hidden, where the alien's jumping from body to body?
The Hidden. No, but I remember that movie called The Thing. That's right up there. And this had a lot of kind of X-File DNA to it as well, because you really had this kind of faith versus scientific fact thing going on. The Rasputin monk was just like, he was a little too gung-ho.
So the ape is killed by the inspector. And from that point on, the alien that you find out later, which was living in the body of the ape, jumps from the ape to the inspector. So for the second half of the movie, the inspector is the alien. But for some reason, his hand turns into an ape hand.
It made no sense. It made no sense. Or did this thing being in that guy in the monster's body for so long turn him to look like that? Like if he kept it, because it was a parasite, basically, what it comes down to. It's like venom.
So we have to wait until the end of the movie, and here's the big reveal. The alien finally gives the exposition that you've been waiting for. Like, what is this thing? And then he explains that, nope, the Bigfoot missing link was just kind of a red herring. That this alien came to Earth with a bunch of others just like him, and they don't really have physical bodies. They're like energy forces. So they've come to Earth, and by accident, he's abandoned on Earth. I'm like, what kind of accident would happen that you left him behind?
That happened to the extraterrestrial. Hey, what happened to Bob? I don't know. I thought
it's like Home Alone. Yeah, they're going back home. 2 million light years later, Kevin!
We love Kevin.
So he explains that he's been surviving by going into the protozoa and then fish and then creatures as they evolve and finally into man. So within his knowledge, he holds the entire history of the Earth and the answers to curing all diseases, everything.
Yeah.
So that's how he's trying to talk his way out of being killed by Christopher Lee.
And they see all these memories in his blood sample, which are like little photographs.
No, it's eye fluid.
Oh, the eye fluid. That's what it was. Yeah, so they look at the eye fluid and son of a bitch, there's a floating brontosaurus in there. Yeah. Oh, wait, now look.
Yeah, evidently he was looking at a book of animated, of drawings of dinosaurs. That's how he saw them.
Right. And of course they were able to figure out the last thing he saw was the inspector shooting him. So they're like, wait, this thing's still killing. But yeah, Telly Savalas comes out of nowhere and he's just like a pimp. Like
as a Cossack officer. This is the thing.
What is that outfit he's wearing?
At first, I wasn't sure who this guy was because he's in the train station, like sleeping with a woman right next to the two guys that are on the telegraph, right? Suddenly he wakes up and there's this woman next to him And he's like, oh, I guess we have to go because the train's getting here in 20 minutes. Then all of a sudden, all these guys wake up in the office.
Yeah.
So he's a Cossack officer with no discernible accent whatsoever. He might as well be saying when he gets on the train, "Who loves you, baby?" You know,
which we didn't get at all. Oh, he just eats up the scenery.
He does, and he's killed almost. He doesn't even put up a fight.
No.
At least get in a punch.
Captain Kazan, which is just a great name.
Kazan with an exclamation point.
There you go. I did like the fact that the inspector, when he was infected, there's a porter writing a SOS message or whatever. He throws the porter out the window, but doesn't throw away the note. So they find the note. It's like, you stupid idiot. It was fun. It was good to watch. It was some 70s goodness going on there.
It was. And I like that how they actually did away with the monster at the end. They get all the survivors in the very last car, along with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. They detach the caboose and let the rest of the train careen off a cliff. And that's just what you do, I guess, in Russia.
Right, exactly,
some of your tracks just lead right to a steep drop.
Right, so they all would have died anyways.
And the caboose just makes it. So they're teetering on the edge and looking down as the thing explodes. And apparently this alien has his own theme song that he whistles throughout the train.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That we knew he was coming. Yeah. Scott Manning, you were one sick and twisted individual. That's all I got to say about that. It was good.
Was fun.
We enjoyed it more than Hellboy.
Yeah, we did.
I think that was across the board right there.
And that Grand Moff Tarkin in it?
Yeah. You had Grand Moff Tarkin and Dooku. Dooku.
I wonder how much Ewan McGregor loved saying that. Dooku.
There is a great scene, I think, when Peter Cushing, he has an assistant, the older woman, and he needs her help. And he goes there, he goes, "Miss Jones, I need your help." And she looks over and he's hanging out with this chick, this blonde spy. And she just looks back and she goes, "Well, at your age, I'm not surprised." Like,
I was convinced that this woman was Alfred Hitchcock's sister. It's like the female version of Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh yeah, she was very handsome. Let's put it that way.
A sturdy woman. Yes. So how many buckets would we offer Horror Express? I think we would probably give it more this week than we would normally, just because of our
what it's up against.
Yeah.
I'll go 3.5.
I'll go 3.
I would say Hellboy has spoiled me from cinema for life. So I don't even know if I can rate anything anymore. I would go 3.
3. Okay. Fair enough. I never in a million years would have ever watched this movie. So
yeah, thank you, Scott.
Yes, good call.
And so maybe we should bring up our confessional right now.
Confessionals.
And I don't know how we're not going to answer this with Hellboy, but maybe we can.
I think this question wrote itself.
Yeah,
yes.
This is totally inspired by Hellboy. What do we think is the least necessary reboot/remake that we have ever seen? And I didn't have to think much about it.
Oh, I jumped right on it. Yeah. I know exactly where I was going.
Mine might be obvious, so I'll go first if you'll allow.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to say the 1998 Godzilla.
Okay.
Completely unnecessary. Angered me to no end.
Because it should not have been called Godzilla. It should have been called the giant monster that attacked New York.
Or Jurassic Park Takes Manhattan.
Right. Although, I do enjoy that movie. I hated it as well. When it came out of the theater, I was not. I immediately, years later, when it showed up and my son got involved in Godzilla, we refer to it as the fake Godzilla.
Oh, totally! It's totally fake. It's not even Godzilla.
But it's still it's a product of its time. You look at it's such a 98 that came out.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich and what was his partner's name?
Devlin. They
were flying high on the hog off of Independence Day, and
not so much though, because the running joke in that is that the mayor and his assistant were straight up spoofs of Roger Ebert and
Gene Siskel, who had panned Independence Day. To the point where they got 2 actors that looked like them as well.
Just so they could make them bumbling idiots, because he was so incensed that these 2 gentlemen, who were the premier movie critics of the day. So Siskel and Ebert go to the movies every weekend. You sit around and you wait for these guys to tell you, was this movie good or was it not?
But if you're going to put them in your movie and lambast them, make it a good movie. Don't give them more fuel, But no, I didn't enjoy Godzilla. I was seething in the theater while I was watching it.
Matthew Broderick.
If you remember, there was a big
Goblins.
reveal of what Godzilla looked like because they weren't telling you up front. You had to go to see the movie on opening weekend.
Yeah, no, the trailers were all about size matters, and they would put these giant banners up with just life-size eyes or a foot. So
Yeah, you never knew what it looked like. And it ended up being like a giant iguana. That's basically what it was.
A marine iguana at that, because he had some cool swimming sequences.
He did, but yeah.
Which I think that the real Godzilla has kind of imitated after the fact.
Yes, he has.
Once or twice.
Don't get me off track here. I want to hate this. So that's my answer. Godzilla, 1998.
I'll back that up. Yeah.
Total Recall.
Oh, good one.
Which is, I mean, it just didn't have any of the charm of the first one. It was, it was maybe taking itself a little too seriously.
It took itself way too seriously.
Yeah, it just didn't need to do it.
No. Who was that, by the way? Farrell?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. I don't remember who directed it, though. But yeah, it was just unnecessary. You are correct.
Yeah, you can't take Arnold. As good as Total Recall is, I would say 60 to 70% of that is Arnold. He's tied up to that
absolutely.
movie.
Yeah.
You can't take him out of it. He's missing. It's a huge hole.
Well, the director, too. I mean, because he also had done
Paul Verhoeven.
So you had RoboCop and you had Starship Troopers. So he's got like his own little subgenre of these movies. They have a very specific look and feel to them. You know, goofy, a little tongue-in-cheek. But that Colin Farrell was not good. Twofer.
Ooh.
And they're both by Tim Burton. Planet of the Apes, which
Which we've brought up on the show before.
numerous times. Just absolutely unnecessary. Mark Wahlberg. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And his Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Both of them. Absolutely unnecessary. And Willy Wonka actually had Christopher Lee in it as Willy Wonka's dad. Do we need to go back and flash back why this character was the way he was, that his dad was a dentist and denied him candy? So now it's unnecessary.
It's the original, again, so indelible with millions of people.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder is just nailed it as Willy Wonka, and nobody ever could take that away from him. And why you would even attempt to do a version?
No, that was just it was a vanity. Both of those movies to me were a paycheck, and especially the Willy Wonka was just a vanity thing for Johnny Depp. What kind of weird wig can I put on? Oh, how can I talk? Am I weird? Am I not weird? Should I be talking to kids? So yeah, unnecessary. So let's go the other route, which is best reboot.
You see, I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah. I had a thought because I brought it up before, and I'll just throw it out here. The original came out in 1951, but the John Carpenter's 1982 thing was probably one of the
that's my
reboots, remakes.
Sure, I'll go for that.
So, and there was a little bit of that in that Horror Express. I thought there was a little DNA. So.
But if you guys have never seen The Hidden, I think it was from 1986. It's more like The Thing is more like a shape-shifting alien, but The Hidden was actually a parasite going from one body to the other. So this was more in line with Horror Express. It was by Carol Coe, so I think it was the first movie they came out with post-Terminator.
Really? The Hidden? Yeah. Who else is in that? Anybody?
Oh, I don't even remember. It's been so long
since I saw it. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, Hellboy, hell no.
There's our headline right there.
Hellboy, hell no. And I hate saying that. I hate doing that. I say it numerous times, which no one ever sets out to make a bad movie, but there's no cohesion to it.
No, there's not.
Nope. That's sad. It's too bad. So.
Just go back and watch your DVD copies of the original too.
Yeah, and Perlman actually, they did a couple animated versions of Hellboy as well, which Perlman and what's her name, who played Liz, did the voices for. So there's a
Selma
couple.
Blair, right?
This episode just flew by. We couldn't talk about this fast enough.
I think this is going to be a Jeff-centric episode.
If the missing link can give me my Bigfoot fix, I'm happy.
Yeah, I know. Jeff have you ever talked at length about your Bigfoot fascination on the show?
Not without being ridiculed. I think the last time it was brought up was when there was 5 of us, and the conversation went nowhere really quick. So I did find out this weekend, listening to NPR, that there is a Bigfoot musical, and I need to go see that. I do need to go see that.
So we will be watching Missing Link next week. Which is a stop-motion animation movie by Leica Studios. Yeah, who brought you Paranorman, Coraline? Kubo and the Two Strings.
And then what are we going to pair this up with?
Ooh, what are we going to pair this up with, Jeff? Tell us.
I believe that we are going to go down the road of the Bigfoot episode of $6 Million Man, baby.
Yeah.
How can we not? How can we not? We could have gone Harry and the Hendersons. We could have gone Legend of Boggy Creek. We could have gone down some of those other Bigfoot roads, but no, we are going with the classic.
Now, this is a twofer, this episode.
This is
part 1 and
episodes.
part 2, so it is like a feature in itself.
And this is the Andre the Giant Bigfoot, not the Ted Cassidy
not
Lurch.
the Lurch.
Yes, which we
the Andre.
did discuss that there were two different. I vaguely remember, and you did bring this up, that along with the 12-inch $6 Million Man action figure, that there was a Bigfoot action figure.
And it was very much like the Chewbacca figure where there was no articulation.
No, he was just straight arms
went up
straight
and
legs.
down. Yeah. The legs went up and down. That was it. And I think maybe he had the crush action where you could put the arms out and then they would go together.
Yeah, I think he came with a boulder or something. Did he not?
Yeah, he did.
There you go.
So he could crush Steve Austin's head if you wanted him to do it.
All right, Missing Link next week. I'm in. Yeah.
All right.
And 2 weeks, Endgame, 2 weeks from now.
Let's hope we can get tickets because they're sold out everywhere. I could buy mine online for $1,500. Who's paying that? Who's paying $1,500 for a freaking movie ticket?
Nobody.
Nobody. Stop yourself.
All right, gentlemen.
That's it. We're out.
You're out.
Sorry, babe. Bye.
If you like what you just heard, be sure to follow TMI Confessionals of the Nerd Kind on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, or whatever you listen to your podcasts on. Also, be sure to email us at tmipodcast2018@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on all of our socials. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, Threads. Just go to tmiconfessionalspodcast.com. All of our links are there. And leave us a 5-star review. See you at the concession stand.
I know about telegraphs, little papa.